Hi students, welcome to Hospital Administration. We are in Unit 2, and for this unit I'm going to go over the different metrics in a hospital. Performance in the emergency department is measured in clinical, operational, and financial terms. Clinical metrics attempt to measure the quality of patient care. Operational metrics seek to characterize the process efficiency. Financial metrics track monetary flows in an effort to monitor the ED solvency. So first, when we look at clinical metrics, it can be divided into three categories, which is process, outcome, and patient satisfaction. So when we look at process metrics measure the extent to which the treatment process conforms to specifications established by regulatory agencies, professional societies, or the hospital itself. Outcome metrics measure the result of treatment. And patient satisfaction metrics measure the subjective approval by patients of their experience at the hospital. Next, we have operational metrics, and this can be divided into two categories, time and volume. Time is going to measure the speed at which patients flow through the unit. The most basic time measure is length of stay, which is usually measured separately for patients who are admitted to the hospital, patients who are kept for observation, and patients who are released. You also have volume metrics, and this will measure the workload the unit receives. So the most direct metric is the average number of patients per day who visit the emergency department. And in hospital, you also have financial metrics, and this is broken down into cost and revenue. Cost characterizes ED expenses, which is going to include staff salaries, equipment expenses, and consumable purchases. These are relatively straightforward to measure, although it requires some accounting to associate expenses with individual patients. You also have revenue metrics, and this is subtle because payments to the ED are affected by not only the procedures performed, but also whether they are billed for, whether the patient has insurance cover, and whether they are approved by the insurance company. Finally, you have organizational metrics, and the two categories that fall under organizational are staff satisfaction and organizational learning. So first, staff satisfaction measures how content staff members are with working conditions and how engaged they feel in the mission of the hospital. Organizational learning metrics seek to measure the extent to which the ED acquires, shares, and uses knowledge. This area is not easy to measure organizational knowledge directly. Learning metrics tend to focus either on process or outcome. So this lecture was just a brief overview on the different metrics found in a hospital, so make sure you complete your lecture review, your discussion board postings, as well as responses to your peers, and then double check your weekly units so you know what assignments that you have due for the week. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great week.